You heard the whisper? Now face the madness. Let the madness begin. Credit.
The key turned. A hollow sound. Dr. Siddharth stepped inside. His home. It felt alien, stripped bare, not of furniture, but of life. Of Priya. Her laughter used to fill these rooms. Now, silence. He walked through the living room. Her favorite vase still stood on the coffee table. Empty, just like him. It wasn't just her leaving. It was how she left, and who she left with. Rohan, his own brother. The thought was a physical blow, stealing his breath every single time. He remembered the note. Clinical, brief. I'm leaving. I'm with Rohan. Don't look for me. Each word a shard of glass, piercing his heart. His brother, the one he had trusted, shared secrets with, laughed with. How could he? How could she? The betrayal was a venom spreading through his veins. He replayed the scene. The discovery. He'd come home early. A surprise. The surprise was his. Their hushed voices from the bedroom. Not hushed enough. Her laugh. A familiar sound. But different. Intimate. With Rohan. He had stood frozen outside the door. The world tilting. His world. His carefully constructed world. Crashing down. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't move. He just listened. To the death of his marriage. To the murder of his trust. The confrontation. It was a blur. Shouts, accusations, tears, hers, not of remorse, of defiance. Rohan's sheepish gaze, unable to meet his eyes. The coward. His professional life. Dr. Siddharth, respected surgeon, saving lives, mending broken bodies. But he couldn't mend his own broken life, his own shattered heart. The irony was cruel. His hands, so steady in the operating theatre, now trembled. As he signed papers, as he tried to drink his coffee, he went to work, he smiled, he consulted, he operated, a perfect automaton. But inside, he was crumbling. The successful doctor, a hollow title. He felt like a failure, as a husband, as a man. Priya had chosen Rohan, his younger brother. What did Rohan have that he didn't? The question echoed, in the sterile corridors of the hospital. In the silence of his empty flat, he felt emasculated, stripped of his pride, his confidence. He looked in the mirror, saw a stranger, haunted eyes, lines of stress, a man he didn't recognize, a man he despised. This wasn't him, this couldn't be him. Patients looked at him with hope, with trust. He was their savior, their miracle worker. If only they knew the turmoil within, the chaos. The city's underbelly began to call, or perhaps he sought its calloused embrace. He needed an escape, something raw, something to make him feel anything other than this constant dull ache of betrayal. His usual haunts, the sophisticated bars, the quiet restaurants, they felt suffocating, full of ghosts, full of memories. He started walking, aimlessly, through darker streets, unfamiliar alleys, where the city shed its polite skin and revealed its raw nerves. He found places where shadows danced and secrets were currency. Dimly lit bars, smoke-filled rooms, faces he didn't know and didn't want to know. He listened to hushed conversations, fragments of other broken lives. It was a different world, a world without judgment, or so he thought. He drank cheap whiskey, it burned his throat, a welcome sensation, a distraction. He wanted to lose himself, to become someone else, even for a few hours. The alcohol was a constant companion now, his faithful friend, his cruel master. It blurred the edges, dulled the pain. That night, he drank more than usual. Varma had given him an address. He stumbled out of the taxi. He clutched the crumpled note. He found the door, no name, just a faint red light. He pushed it open, a narrow staircase leading down. The air was thick with smoke and despair. He could smell it. He could taste it. He felt a moment of hesitation, but the alcohol pushed him forward. The room was dimly lit, Red velvet faded, a few shadowy figures, their eyes hungry. He felt a wave of nausea. This wasn't escape. This was a deeper kind of hell. Varma appeared, led him towards a smaller room. Siddharth's legs felt heavy. He was trapped by his own choices. And then he saw her. A girl. Young. Too young. Her eyes wide. Frightened. She looked down at her hands, clasped tightly in her lap. He stared at the girl. Her name, he would later learn, was Mira. But in that moment, she was just a symbol of his degradation, of how far he had fallen. The alcohol still clouded his mind. But through the haze, a sliver of clarity pierced through. Her trembling hands, the fear in her downcast eyes. It wasn't desire he felt. It was a profound sense of shame, a revulsion at himself, at what he was about to do. He remembered his medical oath, to do no harm. And here he was, about to inflict immeasurable harm on this child. For what? To soothe his wounded ego, to forget Priya. The thought was grotesque. He saw Priya's face, then Rohan's, their betrayal. But this girl, she was innocent, a victim, just like him in a way. But her wounds were fresh, and he was about to deepen them. The weight of it pressed down on him, crushing him. He wanted to speak, to say something, to apologize, to tell her to run. But the words wouldn't come. His throat was tight. He felt sick. The room seemed to spin. He left the brothel that night, shaken, disgusted. But the image of Mira stayed with him, burned into his memory, her youth, her fear, her silent plea. He couldn't forget her. He tried. He drank more. He worked harder. But she haunted his waking hours and his dreams. He felt a profound guilt, a responsibility. He had paid for her. He had participated in her degradation, even if he hadn't touched her. He was complicit. He learned more about her, from hushed whispers, from reluctant sources he sought out. Her name was Mira. She was from a small village, sold by her own family, trapped, with no escape. Her innocence. It was a fragile thing, being chipped away, day by day, in that hellish place. He imagined her life, before, a simple life, perhaps full of dreams, now only nightmares. He felt a desperate need to help her, to save her. Was it for her, or for his own redemption? He didn't know. He started visiting the area, not the brothel but nearby, watching, waiting. He saw her sometimes, from a distance, a fleeting glimpse. His plan was clumsy, desperate. He approached Varma again, not for pleasure, but with an offer. To buy Mira's freedom, he offered a large sum, all his savings. Varma laughed, a cruel, mocking sound. He saw Siddharth's desperation, and he exploited it. He named an exorbitant price, a price that would ruin Siddharth. But Siddharth agreed. He would give anything, to undo his mistake, to save her. He felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, the transaction was supposed to happen in a few days. Siddharth waited, anxious, hopeful. He imagined Mira, free, starting a new life. He would help her, he promised himself. But fate, it had other plans, cruel, twisted plans. He received a frantic call, not from Varma, from one of the other women. Mira was sick, very sick. She had collapsed, coughing blood. No one was helping her. Varma didn't care. She was disposable. Siddharth rushed to the brothel, his medical bag in hand. He pushed past the guards. He found Mira in a small dark room, burning with fever, delirious. He examined her. His heart sank. Advanced tuberculosis, neglected, untreated. Mira's breath grew shallow. Her eyes fluttered. She whispered something, so faint. He leaned closer. "My baby." He froze. Baby. He hadn't known. No one had told him. He looked at her frail form, and then he understood. The slight swelling he had dismissed, the extra fatigue, She was pregnant. Oh God, pregnant. In this hell, he felt a new wave of despair, of horror. This tragedy, it kept unfolding, layer upon layer of pain. She started to hemorrhage, complications from the pregnancy, from her illness. He tried to stop the bleeding, his hands covered in her blood. The irony, he, the lifesaver, now witnessing, powerless, as 2 lives slipped away. Mira was fading fast. She looked at him. One last time, her eyes pleaded. "Save my baby," she gasped. And then she was gone. Her hand went limp in his. Silence, deafening, broken only by his own ragged breath. He delivered the baby, a tiny girl, crying, a small, fragile life, born amidst death and despair. He held the infant, so small, so vulnerable.
Don't just watch. Join the madness. Subscribe and hit the bell before it's too late.